message is still the same. Your problems actually seem bigger than they really are. So just step in and take care of them. You know, wiggle, 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 wiggle. You're free. Take off the blindfold. Step out from in between the swords. They're not exactly placed all that close together. And then you got that Page of Cups. So we're allowing yourself to be emotionally moved by the beauty that surrounds us. So it's a little bit of playful energy here. Whereas this is very diplomatic. This is also very playful. So you can kind of see the difference. Typically, if we make light of a situation, our thoughts tend to lighten up too. So it's possible to be that diplomat to solve things fairly, but it's also important to kind of keep it lighthearted and moving along. Right here in the physical, we're seeing a Three of Cups, Queen of Coins, and the Sun. Physically, we have something to celebrate. Who lost some weight recently? If you did, that's something to celebrate. Who got certain physical aspects of themselves under control? Did you quit smoking? Did you decide to start eating healthy? Well, you've got something to celebrate. It's party time, ladies and gentlemen. But, as I've always said, please party responsibly. Just because you have something to celebrate doesn't mean you have to go, completely all in. Because if you go all in, typically, yeah, things can get messy, can't they? Now with that Queen of Coins here, does anybody else get the feeling that this was modeled after Carrie Fisher? Just a little bit. A very young Carrie Fisher. Looks like it to me. But she handles things. She is down to earth. But she's also compassionate. So it looks like in two places, actually in three, we're being called to be compassionate here. So this is manifesting it right here in our physical center. And then finally, none other than the Sun. And right now I can tell you the Sun is not out for me. I would actually have to use one of those sunstone crystals that they talk about. In any case, the Sun is always that big light. Everything's lit up. Your entire way gets very clear very quickly. And it exudes brilliance and glory. So this card is about that brilliance and glory. But not brilliance in terms of the mind today. This is in terms of you and your physical state. To me, this is how others are going to see you today. That's why they're coming to you. That's why you're having to act as that sort of impartial third party. And it could even be something as simple as settle this question for me. I do things this way, so-and-so says it should be done this way. What do you think? Alright, so Spirit. We have a 10 of Coins. Adds abundance and family. We also have a King of Swords. So clarity of thought. And we have a 7 of Cups, which normally represents very difficult choices, but I'm going to come back to that in just a minute, because right here, with that 10 of Coins, we're seeing to our spiritual well-being. Even though this is physical, you are actually putting physical effort into your spiritual realm. If you're exercising, you can actually turn that into a spiritual practice. I'm not kidding you. There's a card in, I think, the Work Your Light Oracle, or even Starseed Oracle, one of Rebecca Campbell's Oracle decks, where it says, make your life a moving prayer. And the position this card is in, that's exactly what you're doing. Now, moving on to that King of Swords. Personally, I'd like to think he knows what he's doing. He knows exactly what he's thinking at any given point in time, and he's fully aware. But you have to use your knowledge and insightful analysis. And those are your gifts. And the King of Swords can master any of those problems. But he's also not prone to BS. Know what I'm saying? If you're coming at him with bullshit, he's actually going to cut through it. He's like his queen. His queen loves to cut through bullshit. He, on the other hand, by the time it gets to him, it's pretty thinly veiled. So, dispense with it. 7 of Cups. This does not look like the card of difficult choices to me at all. Mainly because there's so much brilliant imagery in it. But that's 7 of Cups today. See, with the old Rider-Waite Smith deck, this is a card of difficult choices, but today this is not at all. This looks like the choices that you make will actually have positive results today. But again, you will need that insightful analysis in order to get to this point. Going with the Oracle deck here, the Lightworkers Oracle. Initiation by Water. We have a lot of Cups cards coming up today, indicating emotion. Also, Initiation by Water, also known as baptism. But interesting how that comes up in the mind section here, because it is mostly Cups so far. And I wonder if the Initiation by Water is going to be something that drives us and moves us a little bit. And you've heard of movies as emotionally moving and gripping. But this indicates you becoming a clear channel for spirit. It's meant to communicate. You're meant to communicate with a higher guidance from lowering the loving spiritual worlds. Your Initiation by Water will further open your receiving channels, dislodge lower vibrational material, and sensitize you to the subtle realms of light. You're being open to a world of which you may have only dreamed. Such is its beauty, grace, and love. So right now, situations have been coming up that evoke emotional reactions and challenge your opinions and beliefs. You may not feel in control. You may feel like your world or your emotions have become like a stormy sea in which you're tossed about, and you are doing your best not to drown in the chaos, but you're not to fear it. So it is stirring that which has been held within, so it can be released. The storm will pass. Waters of your emotions shall become more serene. So, we will be facing some emotional challenges today. But it's important not to lose ourselves in the chaos. Don't worry about it. Those waters will calm. The next one Wisdom of the Divine Feminine. That's a very pretty card. I'll let you get a good look at that one. So I can tell right now she looks like she is having the time of her life with all those flowers around her head and shoulders. And could be that that's her hair, but I'm also seeing some fire in there. So let's see what we got. So Divine Feminine Wisdom empowers you to grow into your vision, your dreams, and the fulfillment of your life purpose. Perhaps you envision a very different life for yourself to what you are experiencing now. This wisdom reminds you that you can experience even the most extraordinary dreams as reality if you are willing to grow into what you desire and become what you seek. Surrender any plans about how you can best manifest your dreams and instead allow life to guide and nourish you through your experiences each day. The universe supports your divine destiny and is helping you to become all you are meant to be. So, I think we can take another look at this. So far, the Lightworkers Oracle is talking about we're going to be experiencing some growing pains. Right? And then we also have initiation by air. And I can tell you one thing, this is about thought. This is about what thoughts are in your head. What you entertain, what you hold within, shall we say. And the funny part is, that comes right after the initiation by water. But you do have a strong and powerful mind. The mind can be a great asset. It can bring comfort, peace, and strength as you take your spiritual journey. It can also be a dark and destructive force undermining your power, making you doubt your own heart and keeping you trapped in fear. The mind developed without a loving spiritual practice can be a frightening weapon rather than a liberating sword. So, the question is, how will you choose to use your mind power? Because right up here these are the feelings like you're not operating at your fullest capacity. What's wrong? Why are people so down on you? You know. But it's just growing pains. Those are going to happen. And when you come out of the other side of it, you can either choose to stay with the, self-doubt, self-loathing, or you could choose something better. So let's cap this thing off with the runes. And we have Gabo, so you do have your gifts. Avaz, so you have travel. And Wunyo, a decisive victory. This one I don't think needs any introduction. You do have gifts that you can use. You can choose to ignore them, or you can choose to use them. Now, whatever the case may be, the important thing is to keep moving forward, not backward. Because when you do, you can raise your flag, you can fly it high, and no one can deny you. And even if they do, it won't work. Okay, so let's sum up really quickly. To put it bluntly, just from yesterday we were being called to get front and center. Today, we are being called to take those roles that need us. And this is the weekend, so it's not going to stop just because this is not for one day, ladies and gentlemen. And I may still do a reading tomorrow just for the year, just to see where we're headed. But here, at the end of this new year, or at the end of this old year and the beginning of the new one, this is one of those kind of now or never moments. If you've been on this journey with me throughout the year, and I want to say it's only been about maybe 9 months, but if you've been on this journey with me, you know everything's been about one thing and one thing only. You coming into your own power so that you can affect the change in your life that you want to see everywhere else. When you do that, you will begin to see that the change will happen at least a little more rapidly than it would if you went and screamed at everyone to stop what they were doing and listen to you. The summary to this is very simple. You can either choose to be the tin-pot dictator who wants to micromanage everyone else, or you can choose to be reasonable, to be decisive, to be clear, and to be confident. And then watch. You may not always get what you want, but you will absolutely get what you need here. And that's going to be the most important thing. It'll be the most important takeaway from this year into the next. And remember, ladies and gentlemen, we are less than 24 hours away from our brand new year. So the question is, how do you want to end this year and start the next? If you want to end this year with a bang and start the next with a bang, then do it. Whatever those little projects are that you've been meaning to get to, time to do it. If you have to tell everyone else to, hey, give yourself some space, do it. But today, when dealing with people, this weekend when dealing with people, try to be fair, try to be reasonable. Literally leave your biases at the door. Allow yourself to be challenged. If you've used shutdown tactics before, stop using them. Try discussion for once. That thing card keeps coming up, ladies and gentlemen. I don't think it's going to go away anytime soon. But you now have to make a decision, and the decision is this. Are you gonna end this year being the same old you and begin the next being the same old you? The same old you from months and months and months before? Or are you finally gonna step out and say, you know what? Nah. I've had enough of that. That's enough. This is me. This is where I'm going. Anyone who wants to go with me is more than welcome. And I think that's really it. Don't get too caught up in your feelings today. Try to use your mind a little more. Wow, that's a big reading. Big messages all around too. In any case, thank you so much for joining me. I'm glad you did. Thank you for supporting me throughout this year, even when I screw up. And I've done that a time or two on this channel as well. Thank you for understanding when links come out late. And they have been the last couple of days. But thank you most of all for being here. I truly appreciate it. Just remember, until next year, take care of yourselves and each other. Always do what lights you up. And as always, Happy New Year and shine on.